Saga's sister brings mashed potatoes with Kraft glitter to Thanksgiving, but it gets worse. Karen thought edible glitter was a real thing until her mashed potatoes sent her family to the ER. Claire stared at the sparkling mound of spuds, her jaw tight, as the room filled with gasps and gagging. This wasn't just a Thanksgiving disaster. It was a betrayal that would unravel years of family trust. Claire had always been the glue of the Bennett family, the one who smoothed over arguments and kept the annual Thanksgiving gathering from descending into chaos. At 34, she was a high school history teacher with a knack for planning, her warm smile and steady patience holding everyone together. Her older sister, Karen, 38, was the opposite, a whirlwind of impulsive ideas and zero accountability. Karen thrived on attention, always chasing the next big thing to make herself the star of any room. For years, Claire had excused Karen's antics the time she borrowed their mom's car and returned it with a dented fender, or when she crashed Claire's book club with a pyramid scheme pitch. But this Thanksgiving, held at their childhood home in suburban Ohio, Karen was about to cross a line no one could forgive. The Bennett house buzzed with familiar chaos as relatives arrived. Their mother, Ellen, 65, fussed over the turkey, her hands trembling slightly from early arthritis. Their teenage nephew, Ethan, slouched at the table, scrolling on his phone. Uncle Ray, a gruff retired mechanic, cracked corny jokes to lighten the mood. Claire had spent days coordinating the menu, ensuring everyone's favorites were included, from green bean casserole to pecan pie. Karen, predictably, had promised to bring mashed potatoes, her one assigned dish. "I've got a surprise." Karen texted Claire the night before, with a winking emoji. Claire, busy grading papers, didn't think much of it. Karen's surprises were usually harmless, like store-bought cookies she'd claim were homemade. As the family gathered around the dining table, the air thick with the aroma of roasted turkey and sage, Karen swept in late, her arms cradling a massive ceramic bowl. Her blonde hair was swept into a messy bun, and her sequined sweater screamed for attention. "Wait till you see this," she crowed, setting the bowl down with a flourish. The mashed potatoes glistened under the chandelier, flecked with iridescent specks of pink, blue, and gold. The table fell silent. Ethan, eyes wide, leaned closer. "Is that glitter?" he asked, voice cracking. Karen beamed. "Edible glitter, I saw it on TikTok. It's the next big thing for holiday vibes." Claire's stomach twisted. Something was off. Edible glitter, she'd never heard of it being so sparkly. Ellen, peering through her glasses, frowned. "Karen, are you sure this is safe?" she asked, her voice shaky. Karen waved her off. "Mom, relax, I got it from the craft store. It's food grade, totally fine." Claire's heart sank. Craft store. She grabbed her phone, fingers flying as she searched edible glitter versus craft glitter. The results hit like a punch. Craft glitter was plastic, toxic, and definitely not for eating. Her eyes darted to the bowl, where Ethan was already scooping a glittering heap onto his plate, egged on by Karen's encouragement. "Stop!" Claire shouted, lunging across the table. The wine glass in front of Uncle Ray tipped, staining the white tablecloth crimson. The room erupted. Ethan dropped his spoon, gagging as he realized what he'd nearly eaten. Ellen clutched her chest, her face pale. "Karen, what have you done?" she whispered. Karen's smile faltered, but she doubled down. "It's fine, you're all overreacting. It's just a little sparkle." Claire's blood boiled. A little sparkle. "Karen, this is toxic. You could have poisoned us." Karen rolled her eyes. "Oh, please. Claire, you're always so dramatic. It's just potatoes." Uncle Ray, usually the peacemaker, slammed his fist on the table. "You don't mess with food. Karen, not like this." The argument escalated, voices overlapping in a cacophony of accusations. Claire's mind raced, piecing together Karen's pattern of recklessness. This wasn't just about glitter. It was about Karen's refusal to think about anyone but herself. Years of excuses flashed through Claire's mind. Karen's borrowed jewelry that never returned, the unpaid phone bill she'd stuck Claire with, the family vacation she'd derailed with her last-minute emergency. Claire had always cleaned up the messes, but this was different. This was dangerous. Ethan, still coughing, ran to the sink, rinsing his mouth frantically. Ellen, tears welling, looked at Karen with a mix of sorrow and fury. "How could you be so careless?" she asked. Karen's defiance cracked, her lips trembling. "I just wanted to make it special," she mumbled, but no one was listening. Claire grabbed the bowl and dumped it into the trash, the glitter catching the light as it fell, a mocking reminder of Karen's folly. "You didn't even check, did you?" Claire said, her voice low but sharp. "You saw a shiny idea and ran with it, like always." The tension broke when Ethan doubled over, clutching his stomach. "I think I swallowed some," he gasped. Panic seized the room. Claire dialed 911, her hands shaking as she explained the situation. Karen stood frozen, her bravado gone, as Uncle Ray barked at her to sit down and shut up. The paramedics arrived swiftly, assessing Ethan and confirming that while he'd only ingested a tiny amount, the risk of microplastic poisoning warranted a hospital visit. Ellen insisted on going with him, her face etched with worry. Claire stayed behind, staring at the ruined Thanksgiving spread, the glitter now a symbol of broken trust. As the ambulance pulled away, Karen tried to apologize. "I didn't know." "Okay, I thought it was safe," Claire whirled on her. "You didn't know because you didn't care enough to check. You never do. You just do whatever gets you attention, and we're the ones who pay for it." Karen's eyes filled with tears, but Claire wasn't done. "This isn't just about potatoes. Karen, it's about you. You've been reckless your whole life, and I'm tired of fixing it." The words hung heavy, a truth long unspoken. Karen sank into a chair, silent for once, as the weight of her actions settled in. The fallout was swift and brutal. Ethan, thankfully, was fine after a night of observation, but the hospital bills piled up, and Ellen's fragile health took a hit from the stress. The family group chat, usually filled with memes and holiday plans, went quiet. Karen's attempts at apologies were met with cold responses. Claire, exhausted, took on the task of contacting everyone to explain, her teacher's instinct kicking in to keep things calm. But inside, she was done. She'd spent years enabling Karen, hoping she'd change, but this was the final straw. Weeks later, Claire organized a smaller family meeting, excluding Karen. Over coffee, they agreed to set boundaries. No more excuses. No more cleaning up her messes. Ellen, still shaken, admitted she'd been too soft on Karen, afraid to push her away. Uncle Ray suggested therapy, but no one held their breath. Karen, meanwhile, posted vague apologies on social media, fishing for sympathy. But the family's silence spoke louder. Claire heard through a cousin that Karen had moved to a new city, chasing another big idea. The news brought no relief, only a dull ache for what could have been. Thanksgiving the next year was quieter, held at Claire's apartment. The table was simpler, the laughter softer, but the love was real. Claire made the mashed potatoes herself, plain and perfect. As they ate, Ethan raised a glass. "To no glitter," he said, and the room laughed, a healing sound. Claire smiled, but her thoughts lingered on Karen, wondering if she'd ever learn. The family had moved on, stronger for it, but the scar of that day remained a reminder that love sometimes means letting go. What do you think? Was Claire too harsh on Karen? Or was this the wake-up call she needed? Share your thoughts on where the line between forgiveness and accountability lies.